Before modern warfare, one assassination dragged 30 nations into the Great War. In the early 20th century, powerful European empires, British, German, Austro-Hungarian, Ottoman, and Russian, competed for dominance. Fueled by militarism, secret alliances, imperial ambitions, and fervent nationalism, the spark was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand on June 28, 1914. Alliances activated like dominoes, and Europe was at war. The conflict bogged down into brutal trench warfare, defined by horrific conditions and deadly new technologies like poison gas, tanks, and submarines. The war spread globally. The U.S. remained neutral until Germany's submarine warfare and a secret proposal for Mexico to attack the U.S. forced them to join the Allies in 1917, providing a decisive boost. By 1918, Germany was exhausted. An armistice was signed on November 11th. The war's cost was immense, over 16 million dead, and 4 empires collapsed. The harsh Treaty of Versailles punished Germany, sowing seeds of resentment that led to World War II. The Great War reshaped the world, ushering in an era of modern conflict whose legacy is still felt today. Imagine a world before airplanes in war, before tanks, before modern chemical weapons. Now imagine one assassination starting a chain reaction that dragged more than 30 countries into the deadliest war the world had ever seen. This was World War I, also called the Great War. Part 1. The World Before the War. At the start of the 20th century, Europe was powerful, rich, and competitive. Big empires controlled huge territories. The British Empire ruled over millions across the world. The German Empire was rising fast and challenging Britain. The Austro-Hungarian Empire controlled much of Central Europe. The Ottoman Empire ruled the Middle East and parts of Europe. The Russian Empire was one of the largest countries on Earth, but these empires were jealous of each other. They competed for land, power, and influence. 4 main causes pushed the world toward war. 1. Militarism. Countries built huge armies and navies. They believed war was a way to prove strength. 2. Alliances. Nations made secret promises to defend each other. So if one country went to war, others would be dragged in. 3. Imperialism. Countries wanted more land and colonies. This created conflicts and rivalry. 4. Nationalism. People believed their nation was superior. Some ethnic groups wanted independence from empires. Part 2. The assassination that started everything on June 28, 1914 in Sarajevo. A young Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip shot and killed Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne. This single event shocked Europe. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia and declared war. Then alliances activated like dominoes. Russia defended Serbia. Germany defended Austria-Hungary. France defended Russia. Britain defended France and Belgium. Within weeks, Europe was at war. Part 3. The Great War begins. Germany had a plan called the Schlieffen Plan. They wanted to defeat France quickly by invading Belgium. But Britain defended Belgium, and the plan failed. Soon, the war became a stalemate. Before modern warfare, one assassination dragged 30 nations into the Great War. In the early 20th century, powerful European empires, British, German, Austro-Hungarian, Ottoman, and Russian, competed for dominance. Fueled by militarism, secret alliances, imperial ambitions, and fervent nationalism, the spark was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand on June 28, 1914. Alliances activated like dominoes, and Europe was at war. The conflict bogged down into brutal trench warfare, defined by horrific conditions and deadly new technologies like poison gas, tanks, and submarines. The war spread globally. The U.S. remained neutral until Germany's submarine warfare and a secret proposal for Mexico to attack the U.S. forced them to join the Allies in 1917, providing a decisive boost. By 1918, Germany was exhausted. An armistice was signed on November 11th. The war's cost was immense, over 16 million dead, and 4 empires collapsed. The harsh Treaty of Versailles punished Germany, sowing seeds of resentment that led to World War II. The Great War reshaped the world, ushering in an era of modern conflict whose legacy is still felt today. Imagine being a young soldier in 1914. Most soldiers thought the war would be short. They believed they would be home by Christmas. But the reality was very different. Soldiers lived in muddy trenches for months or even years. They slept on wet ground, surrounded by insects, rats, and constant danger. Food was limited, water was dirty. Diseases spread quickly, and many soldiers got sick without medicine. Every day, they waited for the sound of the whistle, the signal to climb out of the trench and charge toward the enemy. Many soldiers were afraid, but they had no choice. In December 1914, something unbelievable happened. On Christmas Eve, soldiers from both sides stopped fighting. They sang Christmas songs, shared food, and even played soccer in no man's land. For a short moment, enemies became friends. This event is called the Christmas Truce, and it showed that soldiers on both sides were just humans. Russia suffered heavily in the war. Millions of soldiers died and people were starving. In 1917, the Russian people revolted against their government. This is known as the Russian Revolution. The Russian king, called the Tsar, was removed from power. A new government led by Vladimir Lenin took control. Russia then left the war to focus on its own problems. By 1918, the war had lasted 4 long years. Germany tried one last massive attack to win the war before American troops arrived. At first, they advanced quickly, but soon they ran out of soldiers and supplies. The Allies pushed back with fresh American troops, tanks, and airplanes. Germany's army started collapsing.
Germany built secret weapons that were far ahead of their time. The V-2 rocket was the world's first long-range rocket. It later inspired modern space rockets. Germany also built the first jet airplane used in war. They designed supertanks like the Tiger and Mouse, some so heavy they couldn't move. If Germany had built these earlier, history might have changed. This is one of the darkest untold stories. Japan had a secret group called Unit 731. They tested biological weapons on prisoners. People were used to test diseases, freezing temperatures, and chemicals. Many victims were civilians. This story was hidden for many years after the war. After the war, the United States secretly took German scientists. This mission was called Operation Paperclip. Some of these scientists later helped NASA build rockets and go to the moon. One of them was Wernher von Braun, who helped create the Saturn V rocket. Many people think the Lusitania ship was only carrying civilians, but secretly it was also carrying weapons. Germany said this justified sinking it. This event helped push the United States toward joining World War I and later changing world politics.
Before D-Day, Allies used double spies to fool Germany. They told Hitler the invasion would happen somewhere else. Hitler believed them and kept his armies in the wrong place. When the real invasion came, Germany was not ready. This helped the Allies win in Europe. The Allies created an entire fake army led by General Patton. It had fake camps, fake radio messages, and fake vehicles. Germany believed it was real, so they waited for an invasion that never came. This is considered the largest military deception in history. Some stories say Nazis built a secret base in Antarctica. There is no proof, but many documents show Germany explored Antarctica during WWII. This mystery still fascinates historians and conspiracy theories. Near the end of the war, Nazis loaded ships with gold, art, and treasures. Some ships were sunk to hide the treasure. Many wrecks have never been found. People still search for Nazi treasure today. World War II was not just tanks and soldiers. It was spies, secret missions, hidden experiments, and psychological warfare. Many stories were kept secret for decades. Some are still mysteries today. History is full of secrets, and World War II has some of the darkest and strangest secrets ever.